You throw it away. Oh, Soldier Boy too funny. Oh, thank God I'm not showing that. Okay. Oh, okay. I mean, I kind of mini covered it already, but Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump, brother. Donald J. Trump. Oh, my boy. Oh, my little boy D-Doy. Donald J. Trump imposes 104% tariffs on China. China. 104% tariffs on China. That is insane. Are you crazy? Why 104? Why so specific? Why so specific ocean? Like, why would you go 104? 104 is overkill. Look at this man.
We have great things happening with our military. We also essentially approved a budget, which is in the facility. You'll like to hear this.
Look at the down. Look at the down.
$1 trillion.
How many points is it down? Oh my God. Dude, it's over.
You'll like to hear this, of $1 trillion, $1 trillion, and nobody's seen anything like it. We have to build our military, and we're very cost conscious, but the military is something that we have to build, and we have to be strong because you got a lot of bad forces out there now. So we're going to be approving a budget, and I'm proud to say, actually, the biggest one we've ever done for the military.
But is the military-industrial complex not like a... like I don't know, I feel like we're at the point, like, are we gonna get invaded at any point? Like, are we not done producing, like, aren't we already done producing nukes and stuff because we already have too many? Like, don't we already have so much? It's like, why do we need to keep buying this shit, like, just to go kill people for whatever the fuck, right? Like obviously I understand, okay, you need security, cool, but low-key it's overkill, because I feel like my mindset is like, we can't have another war. I'm talking about like a real war. Like, Russia and United States can't go at it, because it's not gonna be like, oh well, then we'll just rebuild our foundation. No, it's over. Like, we're done. There is no we're coming back and we're gonna fight again. No, as soon as it happens. So the production of so many, it makes no sense, because even if you start it, we're all gonna die. You don't even need any more, because we're already all gonna die if it happens. World War III happens, we're dead. There is no hey, let's rebuild the foundation. Everybody knows the saying goes, I don't know how World War III will go, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones, right? I think that's the saying. Like, it's not, we're going back to Stonehenge, caveman times. Like, the earth is going to be polluted with radiation. It's going to be really dirty. It's going to be trashy. You're not going to be able to feed billions of people off of the vegetation that we have. It's just not a sustainable source. It's not sustainable. We'll end up dead. It's, yeah, no. So my whole thing is like, the military industrial complex is low-key a scam just so they can just keep spending more money. Because you already have a ton of submarines. You already have a ton of missiles. You already have, I think it needs to be like we got shit, okay? Now we need to innovate shit. We need to be innovating. Fuck the production of shit we already got. Innovate the technologies. Innovate new engineering feats. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that nigga Terrence Howard low-key onto some shit with the linchpin. Like, that's what I'm talking about in terms of new shit. China's ahead of us. We need some new shit. We don't got new shit. We just producing same old shit. You got the same old shit. Of course, China's gonna look way better than us, and they're gonna be more harmonious living because they constantly making new shit, right? So obviously we are completely under lever, and that's why, right? We getting scammed. The United States been getting scammed out the market, but it's still like, cool. Okay, you got the tariffs going, cool. In terms of your military industrial complex, it's kind of like, this shit's over. Like, you don't need to make any more nukes. You don't need to make any more. All that shit in production can be halted. Like, he putting them shits all in tariffs anyways. That shit could be halted. Cause who gonna invade us if we don't? Who gonna invade us? Who gonna do it? I dare. Nigga, we got the button. We got the button. What is he gonna do? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? They're not gonna do anything. Like, they're not gonna do anything if we stop. We need to invest into technologies, advance our technologies. Like, that's more important than this, like, industrial, because, like, all they do, they just be producing bullets, guns, missiles, same shit. Like, make some new shit. Make some shit that costs less, take less, and let us know about it. Because the problem is that they make new shit, but they don't let us know about it. You get what I'm saying? They got technology they don't even let you know about. And it's probably for good reason. But still, that's annoying. Because now you got the public not knowing, okay, well, they are doing that. Or they do got, you know, good stuff and they just can't release it. It's like a tit for tat type of game. But the fact that he had to impose 104, do you understand how much 104%, nigga? That's over 9,000, nigga. Bruh, over 9,000. Let's see. So apparently people have lost tens of millions of dollars. The world's richest men lost $536 billion. Holy shit. White House will so 104 tariffs doesn't punish China. It punishes everyday Americans who shops, eats, builds, and tries to survive in this economy. So everyone's arguing about tariffs, and this is a lot of shit in politics where I feel like a lot of people just kind of argue shit just to argue shit. Like, how do we not have the defined answer? So from my understanding, a tariff is a tax on an imported good, right? So it gets passed off to the consumer, right? But if we don't have the main, and there's two sides of the coin, because there's the argument of, if you like, so let's say I have $1 million hypothetically, and I buy a house worth $500,000. Now I got $500,000. Then I buy a car worth $200,000. Then I got fucking 300,000. Now I got 300,000. Then I buy a fucking an airplane, nigga. I don't know, a fucking a helicopter or whatever, right? 200,000, right? Now I got 100,000 less. So the means of me paying for the production in which I just bought makes me poor because I've just paid to lose money. Now I write that off and I pass it off as a good, right? So now I got goods. I got a house. I got a fucking helicopter. Cool stuff. So you trade off the value of just actual monetary gains for the means of production. So from my understanding, even though this does fuck every American in the ass cheeks, it's a good leveraging tactic in order to suppress China into trying to fold. Now, the problem is China ain't going for it, and they don't really have to because we don't even have the means of production anyways. Now, we are a good ally in terms of just reliability and individual property, right? So we have the sort of like, we're open market, right? We're open for business. If you guys want to do business, let's get it cracking. Let's go. I'm ready to get cheese rolling, Kelly rolling. New swollen, Carol Bolin. Okay, now the problem is, right, is that what's going to happen is, let's say we got a car costs $50,000. You smack a tariff on that bitch. Now now that this car costs $100,000, what's going to happen is, since the levied interest over time is going to go up, it's going to cost even more exponentially. But then when it goes down, it's not going to mark down as quickly. It's not going to mark down as how it would be just if, you know, there were no tariffs and it didn't happen, right? So the price and inflation of like a $50,000 car would probably go up, what do you say, 70,000 in like 10 years or something. I don't know, 60,000 comes spitballing here, okay? But the means of like, let's say you got a fucking tariff on 100 fucking tariff, 104 tariff goes up, right? And it's 100,000 now. When it goes back down, now the car costs, you know, $85,000, where it's like it would be, you know, 70 if had we not done this. But now, hey, it may even be, you know, it all depends, right? But now it's 90. It only goes down 95,000. it only goes back down 90,000 to 90,000. Well, holy shit. Hopefully the means of production, hopefully we got the job done of getting the means of production in the United States to outsource our own levied interest in terms of monetization, because our problem is that we're under levered. Every company's robbing us and we get nothing in return besides like great individuals, and like we get like a few people who are like very smart, and we get a decent amount of like goods, right? We get goods, right? That's all we really get, right? But so it's almost like America is like a fucking a yard sale or some shit, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're like a yard sale to the rest of the world. That's basically what we are. Okay, so I think tariffs are definitely good, but they can fuck you up badly. Yeah, they're gonna fuck us all up. Okay, it's about to be fucking ass. Everything's gonna cost $1 trillion, and it is what it is. Now, realistically, how much does this matter? I'd like to say a decent amount. How much will people care? I'd probably say a lot. Okay, and at the end of the day, are these changes going to be detrimental or beneficial to America at the end of the day? I say we got a 104% chance not. I'm kidding. We probably got like a 4. We got like a, we're really in the 50-50 zone right now. We got a good probability of it going great or just absolutely horrible. But I think we're in the good zone because America is actually very valuable. In terms of land and resource, we have a lot of land, we have a lot of resource. We are very valuable, okay? So these countries, I think these countries should fall in line, because later on in time, we can even make a better deal to where they get interest out of it as well. But right now, we need to get our people, we need to up our, dude, I was looking at we looked at the stats, let me see. Shit. So the GDP, okay? Let's see. Largest grossing domestic product 2024 in billions of dollars. Now there's a different one we're looking at, I think. 25 World Economics. Oh, this is for 2027. This is like for 2027, I'm pretty sure. I think it's trying to predict what's gonna happen from 1980 to 2007, 2027. So this is 1995. Let's go to, right? So they started whooping our ass. Hold on. Classic. Look at them. Look how they catch up. 2010. Look at this, man. Now I think that there was what I'm thinking of, look at that, they passed us. 2023, they advanced their technologies. I think this is when Biden sold us out for the microchips, and I think he may have sold us out in means of production when he gave up the canal. India not too far behind, and yeah, we're getting fucked. So they're expected to be cooking our ass for that long. So that's just the percentile in world GDP. I'm thinking about fucking, hold on. No, hold on. No. Let me see. Is this it? Like, I'm thinking of, I may be thinking of a wrong chart, but basically like, we lend out the most possible money and we get nothing in return. Something like I think it's us and China lend out the most money and we get nothing in return. But China, like, I don't even know what I'd say. Basically, China was whooping our ass. They had like $856 billion worth of exceeded growth compared to the United States, and we were just sitting down out. We were second, but we were still clearly getting gypped. Basically, it's just to try to scare them and rework a deal. They didn't fold, but it's also like, but what it is, it's like, so if I'm gonna hurt you, if me hurting you hurts me as well, so be it. You know what I mean? Like, they're basically saying, fuck it, kick the bucket. You know what I'm saying? Now, for businesses, this is amazing, right? Because they are now going to have to charge consumers a huge price. Now, if consumers have nothing to consume or don't have the means to consume, they're going to be fucked, right? So they're going to have to figure out how to redistribute, whether you're entitled to something. How are they going to, like, are the oligarchs just like out of touch or what? Like, Do they not know that if no one has the means, they're not gonna buy? Like they're cooked. I think they're cooked. I don't think people are gonna keep buying stuff. I think a lot of people are gonna look up remedies. They're gonna start buying their own food or growing their own food, creating their own recipes. I think people may, if it lasts that long, niggas are gonna start planting food, planting shit, killing chickens. They might start eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats and dogs. Okay, remember that during the election? That was pretty funny. But genuinely, and if not, I think if that's not the case, I think consumers will just stop consuming less. Like even in terms of like subscriptions, people are gonna stop subscribing to shit. Subscribing to stuff is gonna be horrible. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is it's definitely not a great. I'm not gonna say it's not a great idea, but it's not a great time to be experiencing the idea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna be when we're heading to a recession. Guess we just gotta take it one day at a time. One day at a time. I think that's all it's gonna be, right? Shit, people are just gonna have to stop consuming a lot, try to do good, but like I don't think it. I ultimately think that it's not a bad idea in terms of authority. In terms of practicality, this is gonna fucking eat ass. Eat ass. Look at this girl.
She wanna hop in a Rari. She wanna hop in a Rari.
So I recently found out this girl's almost 30 years old, by the way.
Hop in a Rari. I see that I look in your eyes. She wanna hop in a ride. I see that you're ready to die. I see that you're ready to die. They telling me that I'm bully. I'm Edison, made it fully. They say that I'm Eddie, my healer. But how am I Eddie, my healer? When I'm a fucking nigga.
Yo!
They telling me get off a Twitter.
How the fuck would you go to that island? Ah, he low-key snapped up. I'm not gonna lie, he longs low-key a vibe. The song's low-key a vibe now. What is it about? What the fuck would you go to that island? I never wish you go to that island.
Where the fuck would you go to the island? Went to the dinners and got me some nitrous. Went to the dinners and put in some diamonds. I don't know, I spoke many is shining. They just don't understand me. I'm that nigga that gon' you and they don't Grammys. Rockin' swastikas cause all my niggas nuts.
Alright, bro. What is that, bro? Okay, now I'm not going with that. Chill, bro. Banda. I got bras in Atlanta. This is the lean in the phantom. Pretty cars, scammers. Apple plans to shift more iPhone production to India to avoid US tariffs on Chinese goods, threatening a $70 billion China earns from giant tech. Them boys about to move to that land. Good fucking luck. Good fucking luck, nigga. They're about to whoop our ass. China said, I'm not going for that shit, boy. You gonna hurt more than we hurt. So be it. But boy, and that's it. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. He said, fuck boy, burn me, you gonna get your ass burned too. Well, let's die, nigga. We both in hell. Fuck it. Kick the bucket. Uncle Ruckus. Obstructing. Ah, fuck. Okay. All right. I think see, with Trump, I don't think he's imposing like a great enough deal, because I don't think he's imposing something where like they get something out of it. They just lose. He's telling them to lose. Like, why would you, if you're already winning, why would you just lose? Why would you just forfeit, right? I'm gonna fix this. Right? Why would you just be like, yeah, I'll just give you everything I have? Like, I feel like the deal needs to be something that's long term, not even just long term of like the long term plan of trying to use the tariffs as like leverage to get sweatshops at home, but like long term of like even they get something out of it as well, right? I don't think they have like a self-interest in the tariffs, so they don't get anything out of it beyond like they get nothing out of it. They get absolutely nothing out of it because they have to now implement retaliatory tariffs. They get nothing out of it. Like, this is not on some deal or no deal. I don't think this is the greatest deal, right? Like, if you're China, You have $1 billion in profit. Just hypothetics. Someone comes up and says, your partner who helps you get there, who you've been trading with, and gets to that billion, he comes up and says, hey, I only have 500 billion and you have $1 billion. I offer you a deal that I get even more money than you, if not thrive better than you, or if not, I leverage myself to 700 billion, 800 billion, closer to your leverage. Do you want to make this deal? And in return, you get nothing. You're China. What do you say to the person who just comes up and says that? Because what it is basically like being like, well, since we've been a good friend, then we should be given this. Well, they're like, yeah, but that measurement is only based on your sort of like subjective, like perspective of what we've done for you as a country. Other than that, it means nothing. So of course they're going to impose a retaliatory tariff because they don't care. They don't care. This is the world of politics. There's no friends, unfortunately. Or at least there is friends, but and allies. But at the end of the day, each country is on country, right? They're going to want the best for their people, etc. So setting us on fire to set China on fire, not a bad idea, but it definitely is a self-destruct button. The self-destruct button. But the thing is, right, the collateral damage will definitely help basically it's like, but the difference in my example is that's just like lucrative money, but in an actual sense, it's really imposing pain on them, right? We're trying to hurt them as much as we can possibly hurt them. But I don't know, because if they have the means of, and then that's also another, they have the means of production. They have the advantage here. The only thing I feel like we could do is offer like things they don't have. Like what does the United States have that they don't have? Or that they can't like sustainably make up for over a long period of time until the tariffs are uplifted? Or like till they say, all right, we're not going to do this shit anymore. I don't know. I think there's got to be a whole new play done. I think you got to there's just way more, like, there's just way more shit. Like, in terms of problems, I understand, like, the deficit is really what we're trying to get at. It'll just be a continuum. It'll just be a continuum of a never ending, just carving into, it's like, really, who the fuck do we owe? Isn't there like a world deficit? It's like, who the crust do we owe, bro? The aliens? But it's also like, because my whole thing was with the deficit is like, they're trying to attempt to gradually take it down. And a lot of the problems that was like before, like a lot of the problems was literally just like blatant fraud detection, blatant like just waste, right? Like just like stupid ass waste. We're talking about computers that are old as shit. Like apparently I seen some shit. What was it? It was like the computers were sending, or like the systems in the computer were so outdated that it didn't even, it's like you're talking about shit that's like 100 years old, 50 years old computer software. Like, what are we doing? There's no way that's how the government was ran. That should be illegal. That is retarded. How are you running on faulty computers? So, and then there was also like social security fraud. And they were like using like, I think it was what, Blue Origin was sending social security to like elderly people, and they weren't, or they weren't getting their social security, or they were putting it in older people's names, and then they were like using their social security to fund their project. And then you have just in general the government's like lack of efficient people, because you know what I think it is? I guess this is just something that is like not said a lot of the times. I'm gonna end right after this. Dude, my eye, bro. Like, okay, so just like as an example, people run businesses, right? Like everybody's ran a business, etc. But how many people have run like multi-billion-dollar businesses? Not that many people. And so I don't think there's always like a tried and tribulated blueprint of how to become something or become a billionaire or etc. Right? Like a lot of it's just luck. A lot of it's just RNG, probability and statistics of like right place, right time, etc. But once you get into these positions, this is just in a general sense of getting in a position. A lot of times I think like it's not said a lot or whatever, but like people are not born innately to be that. they're a human being born on a floating rock. So like, unless they were taught by their family exactly how to be, and there's like tried and tribulated lore and like aura, or like things that you know about this, like let's say, you know, someone who grew up in the military, a military family, they can teach their kid about military stuff and they know how to be a military person and do that to the full extent because it's been generationally passed down. Cool. But we're like, okay, I become a senator, I become a House of Representative. As much training as I get, you only know as much as the next person tells you, or at least what you're taught. But in terms of like facing adversity, you are just kind of on the fly, giving your sort of impulsive decision making on things at hand. Same thing with being the president. You don't get trained to be the president. You just become the president, right? You don't get trained to become the president. You just are the president. So it's like, well, now what? How do you figure out what's happening, right? You kind of just become that. But I think that's the sense. But like a lot of things, right? A lot of things are like that, very obscure, abstract. You don't really know what you're doing. Everyone's just kind of going. But there's like this sort of voice in society, I guess, that kind of tells you like the government is efficient. It's really the media. The narrative is like the government is, listen to the government. The government knows what's best. These are smart people. These are people. And then you get older, or you know, you're like, these people are idiots. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what it feels like. It feels like as you get older, right? Everything becomes more like, these people are not that smart. And it's sort of like I think it's what it is. It's like the body ages, but the mind, or the body ages, but the soul doesn't. So that sort of transitioning period between young teen and adulthood, you get coerced into a job or a field that you may not even understand is like at that high of a stature, at least, or in a sense, right? And so like, even though someone can be older, they can still be immature or like be bad at decision making or be stupid, right? It doesn't mean that they're smarter than someone just because they're older. And so like, I think like you just have a lot of older people who are just like, and a lot of times the younger person is actually going to be the smarter person, right? Now, they're not going to have the most experience, right? They're not going to be as wise, but they're going to be more spry, more active, more in there. You know what I'm saying? So it really comes down to like the dedication of what that person puts in. Of like, it's like, if it's a young person, how much do they depend or try to expect to learn from whatever they're trying to govern or garner, right? And this applies to everything. This applies to fucking video games. This applies to fucking whatever the fuck, right? Like when I'm in a match, right? I'm in a Fortnite match. I know like a general script of how to play a game, but on the fly, I'm on the fly. If some shit goes wrong, I gotta try to face that adversity. Same thing with sports. Same thing with fucking life, nigga, life. And so when I say like the mind ages, or the body ages and the mind doesn't, I think that there's just a lot like that. Like you know, you're talking about like 16, 17, 18, 20, or 19, 20, 21, 20, like this little area, right? In transitioning to adulthood, you sort of kind of feel like the same person, right? You kind of feel like, yeah, you're older and you can understand that you know, you can use your brain a little bit more, you're more cognitively aware, but generally you kind of feel the same. And so like deep down, you still have that like childish part of you in a sense, right? There's an adults, but kind of some of them kind of put on an act, but deep down you still have that childish sort of feeling in a sense, right? And so like now you have that person, but they're making the decisions for 350 million people. And so it's like, whoa, that's not that great. Now I know there are people who are mature, right? But I don't know, like when I look at like congressional hearings and they're like yelling at each other, it's like sometimes the professionalism goes out the window. It's like, well shit, we may as well say fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can be a fucking senator. Anybody can be a fucking governor at this point, because these niggas just normal niggas at the end of the day. And some of them not even that smart. Some of them got a high IQ. Think about it. Why is it the highest IQ individuals in government? There should be like a decent amount, but the fact that it's not efficient So like that right there, like how niggas ain't billing call out the fact that computers wasn't working. How niggas ain't call out the computers wasn't working. Niggas ain't figure out the computers wasn't working for 50 years? What? Niggas ain't figure out the computers. So what? So niggas wasn't knowing that checks, which they was just writing blank checks going to nowhere, clearly money laundering, clear money laundering. They was just taking social security from old people, writing them in other names to fund their projects. Nobody said a word. This is blatant corruption. It's disgusting. Right there is what you, oh, it's like in school when like the superlative kids get those advantages or whatever. I was a superlative kid. I got best dress. Did that age well? But like, it's like, oh, we're in this club, but it doesn't matter because it's all subjective, right? What you know or what you are is in a lot of times innocent subjective, unless you are literally an entitled occupation. But regardless, man, the government is definitely not efficient. Okay, I thought I was in the word like, oh, the deficit, dude. We're gonna have to like, okay, let me see if I can draw it. Okay, real quick. And I don't know if this is a retarded take, but who cares? A lot of times retarded takes are low-key the best takes, but so my take or like my thought process is like, dude, if the government's gonna be like that complicated, we probably gotta like, holy shit, what the fuck? So like in my head, right, or whatever. So they saying that this bitch costs like mad cheese, okay? So I was like, so the deficit is like what's our deficit, like 36 trillion or some shit? It goes up like a trillion a fucking week or some shit, or I don't know, decade or some shit. It's 36 trillion, and then we got like so I want to say so I don't know if I'm drawing this right, but like so we're in the red here, and this is like our area of like wiggle room, like spending room, I guess, but we don't really got that much spending room. And so here's like our spending room. And so like under my administration, so I was thinking like from what I see, they're trying to make it, where the fuck is my cursor? They're trying to make it so they slowly go down with it. Like it's like a slow, like they're trying to make a chink in the armor, right? They're trying to slowly, make a chink in the armor, right? Slowly but surely. So let's say this is a this is a decade, this is a 10-year period, okay? So could be wrong. So whatever this mechanic is of how they got that deficit, whether that was just like getting rid of waste. So this right here is, this could be either the worst take or the best take. So this is waste, and saving. So we frugally spend our way for the next 10 years or whatever, and we make a chink in the armor or something like that. I don't know. And so my dumbass take is, well, if this is sort of like a lucid spending thing, my whole like transversal mechanic was, would it make sense to like outspend your leverage to make a profit? Now it's obviously risky. And so what I was saying in terms of foreign aid, right, is it should be incentivized like, yo, okay, China's beating our ass. All right, we finna up on China. Like, what? These niggas ain't got shit on us. We got the best people in the world. So what we finna do is everybody, whether you South Korea or whoever it is with the chips, everybody, look, we finna get together, we finna jump China. We finna all see, y'all gonna get rich too, look. Y'all gonna be damn near close to China. Look, everybody get together. We're gonna get together. Look. And it sound like a funny ass like skit. We gonna get me rich as fuck, and then we gonna get y'all rich as fuck. So what we gonna do is, y'all gonna leverage money under us, right? We gonna leverage. So what I'm thinking is like, what we gonna do is we gonna spend hella cheese, and then y'all quintuple it back for a profit, and then lend it back to us. So like we spend hella to make back hella, but it's like it's got to be a system, and like it's like a mechanic. Like it's got to be mechanical for that to work. So let's say, for instance, I do some shit like this. So let's say let's say like right here, right? Okay, so boom, boom. Let's say I say this is my wiggle room. I don't know if I'm doing this right. One of these is my wiggle room. I could be doing this right or completely wrong. So this is my wiggle room of space. Oh shit. This is my wiggle room of space. Then what I'm thinking is like an overlap, right? So like we extend that bitch. I think like how I'm thinking in my brain is not how I think I'm drawing it. That's what's like fucking me up right now. Like boom, but then we leverage it back. I think I'm doing it right, but so then like tenfold from okay. So from what we spent, we went boom, and then we flipped that bitch back like literally like a drug dealer, nigga. Like we flipped that bitch back, but this extended part that we like, think about it like this is a flap, like a flap, right? That little flap we flip back, it hit this little mark right here. Boom. Look, it hit this little mark right here. Look, boom. So instead of gradually moving down, we like fishing. We throwing that bitch out and reeling it back in. Throwing that bitch out and reeling it back in. Reeling it back in. Reeling it back in. Reeling it. Oh, that should be a hook. We throwing that bitch out, we reeling it back in. So like this like a flap, right? Like a mud flap or some shit. So like, let me see if I can draw, like, look, like this a flap, right? But let's say the flap was like this, right? So this is two things flip, right? But then we unfold the flap, but this flap that we unfold, oh shit, is a lot longer than our initial box. So we then, when we flip it, it's gonna overlap and land us back here. So the flap gonna overlap and it's gonna be like that. Some sort of spending mechanic. So we spent a ton to make that little excrement back. Is that a dumbass take? It could be a dumbass take, or it could be a good take. I don't know. Oh shit. You get what I'm trying to say though? I could be totally wrong. I don't know. I don't even know, bruh. Can I get that in there? Get into it. Hold on, how do I get that? There's a shadow. So like that's kind of what I was thinking, like, but it's the fight is figuring out the mechanic. Like not a mechanic before, right? Was like the general easy mechanic is this: getting rid of waste and fraud. And this right here, what I'm saying, it's just like a yield. It's basically just yielding your own interest, right? This is a basic like financial tactic. I mean, this is literally just sales, right? But it's literally about finding the mechanic. Like, what can the mechanic be besides a tariff? Because this is basically a tariff, but instead this gradually goes down as well with it. But this one goes slightly slower if they don't compromise. If they don't compromise, this goes, oh my gosh, bro. This goes slightly slower with it in terms of the red. So the red comes even more in as you go for your flat mechanic. So even though you can do it, the tariff is sort of like eating into all profits. Even though you do make your initial gain if you figure out the mechanic, like the tariff is like, it's like, pew. So, oh no, this is the safest option. This is the riskier option. Pick your poison. We got exhibit A, exhibit B, the shitty B, and the shitty A. Nice, bro. I feel like this is a, I feel like it makes sense, but it doesn't. But it does, but it doesn't. Yeah, but it isn't. Looking for a better way to get a better day. All right, that's my thing. All right, I went for 5 hours, dude. I'm not gonna lie, I was not supposed to go for that long, but it is what it is. You already know. Exceeding expectations. You already know me. You already know me. Exceeding expectations. I'll probably just react to that later. What's it call it? What's it call it? What's the name? Cardi dropped some shit. And I'm telling you, bro, I gotta go. I done lost my train of thought. I done lost my fucking train of thought. I know we're gonna end with though. All right. Should we do that one? This is low key like chill vibes. All we have is time. Dude, this used to be my shit, bro. 8 years ago. Oh my god, this shit was almost a decade ago, bro. Dude, I'm getting old. Wow, bro. Wow. Well, that's me, Ted. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you.